Bienvenue à tous. Welcome to Reporters here on France 24. Our team is back from the mosques and cafes of Tehran to bring you an insight into Iran rarely seen or heard. They witnessed firsthand how Iranian society is becoming more and more split. Those who are loyal to the Islamic Revolution, others who are yearning for change and a better relationship with the West. Both sides are badly affected by the crippling economic sanctions reimposed by the United States since Donald Trump unilaterally pulled out of the 2015 Iran nuclear accords. Our reporters from Mayor Longlois, Maisa Awad and James Andre with this.
A rally in Tehran's Freedom Square to commemorate 41 years of the Islamic Revolution. It's the 11th of February. The coronavirus pandemic hasn't struck yet, and parliamentary elections are due in 10 days. Political and religious leaders take to the stage and galvanize the crowd against the enemy, the United States of America. Tensions are ramped up high. The US Army has assassinated General Qasem Soleimani with an airstrike on January the 3rd in Baghdad. He was a national hero.
هر ایرانی یک سلیمانیه و ما رمزمون رمز مقاومته. ما رمزمون وحدت کلمه است. مرگ بر آمریکا! مرگ بر اسرائیل! مرگ بر آمریکا!
General Soleimani was the commander of the Revolutionary Guard's feared Quds Force, often considered to be the regime's second most influential figure after the Supreme Guide, Ali Khamenei.
حضرت آقا رهبر معظم انقلاب اجتماع هستن ما ایشون رو قبول داریم
جانم فدای رهبر.
From Yemen to Lebanon, across Iraq and Syria, General Soleimani controlled militia across the Middle East. He was the architect of the country's influence in the region and a key figure in the fight against the Islamic State group. Now, he's a martyr. Martyrs have been revered in Iran for centuries. This is Imamzadeh Saleh's mausoleum. 30,000 people visit it every day. It's one of Iran's holiest sites. Pilgrims from all over the world come here to mourn Imamzadeh Saleh, a descendant of Prophet Muhammad, assassinated over 1,000 years ago. The shrine also played a prominent role in Iran's recent history.
در زمان انقلاب مردم ایران یکی از پایگاه‌های مهم مبارزه با رژیم شاه این مکان مقدس بود که مبارزین در این مکان جمع می‌شدند و تظاهرات چند صد هزار نفری رو که از شمال تهران آغاز می‌شد از این محل شروع می‌کردند.
The esplanade houses another mausoleum, dedicated to the memory of the Islamic Republic's martyrs. In these tombs lie those killed during the Iran-Iraq War of the 80s. Here, a nuclear engineer allegedly assassinated by Israel. There, militiamen killed in the battle against the Islamic State group. The most recent martyrs were killed by mistake. They were unarmed students. The plane that was carrying them was hit by a missile above Tehran. The Iranian army believed they were firing at a US aircraft. All 176 passengers on board the Boeing lost their lives. Hadith is mourning her sister who was studying in Canada.
She's only 13.
Hadith makes offerings to the crowd, a tradition in Iran.
هر اتفاقی هر کاری هم که بکنن جبران از دست دادن این بچه‌ها واقعا نمیشه. اینا از بین رفتن و هیچ کاریش نمیشه. برامون خیلی ناراحت کننده بود ولی که اونا هم از مرزها خواستن دفاع بکنن. یه اتفاقی بوده که افتاده.
The Boeing was down just 5 days after the assassination of General Soleimani, in a context of heightened tensions between the US and Iran. The countries have been foes ever since the very beginning of the Islamic Revolution. In February 1979, Ayatollah Khomeini returned from exile and toppled the Shah's pro-American regime. Then, On November 4th, some 400 students stormed this building, the American embassy in Tehran. They took 52 American diplomats and civilians hostage for 444 days. Hossein Sheikh al-Islam was one of these students. He tells us their aim was to pressure the US into handing the Shah over so he could be judged before one of Iran's new revolutionary courts.
This is the ambassador's room. This is me. This is me. This is the Christmas night. Because the first thing Imam Khomeini said to us, before even he okayed what we did, he said the hostages are in your hand. You have to treat them well. This was a religious order for us. All of us, we want to go to heaven. That is why we do not play with these things.
As the students entered the building, they discovered a secret CIA bureau. This glass cage, for instance, was designed to guarantee no one could eavesdrop on secret meetings. There were also some advanced cipher machines and a trove of partially destroyed secret documents, enough to sow distrust between both countries for decades. Mr. Sheikh al-Islam went on to become an advisor to Mohammad Jawad Zarif, Iran's foreign minister who negotiated the nuclear deal with the Obama administration. A deal that was ripped apart by Donald Trump, who then reinforced sanctions on Iran.
With Mr. Trump, there is no chance. I don't know in the future, but if America is what it is, if America is the one who elects Trump, I don't think we have the future.
The Islamic Republic is under pressure. In November 2019, large protests broke out. Struggling under sanctions, the government stopped subsidizing fuel, causing its price to double overnight. The protests were rapidly and violently suppressed. According to Amnesty International, 300 people died and 7,000 were arrested. Despite the dire economic situation and growing discontent, the Islamic Republic is still backed by a large part of the Iranian people. On this national holiday, Tehran's Grand Mosque is full, and foreign journalists are welcome to witness the size of the crowds.
Come here.
Friday prayers are an important moment in Iranian politics. Mr. Karimi, a longtime hardliner, is in charge of journalists.
The second sermon is about political matters. Every Muslim in each Friday prayer is aware about his environment and about the world and like this. By the Friday prayer, we believe that there is no separation between policy and religions. Vice versa, the ideology of some Christian peoples and some Jewish peoples.
Today, the mullah orders worshippers to vote in the election, regardless of their political views. Regime dignitaries sit on the front row, and top military brass are present. Women pray on the first floor, behind the men.
ما اینجا هفته جوانایی که میان به نماز جمعه برای استقبال و حضور بیشترشون به نماز جمعه بهشون هدیه اهدا می‌کنیم که این هدیه که شما می‌بینید درباره گام دوم انقلابه که رهبرمون آقای خامنه‌ای این بیانیه رو خطاب به جوانای انقلاب اسلامی صادر کردن و بیشتر خطابشون به جواناست.
شبستان سوم آماده پاسخگویی و ارائه.
Despite the religious authorities' efforts, some youths are slowly drifting away from Islamic standards. These two students are 19 years old. They're fascinated with Asian pop culture. Both bear the same name, Hasti, which means existence in Farsi.
I think it's new for people that see us in this kind of fashion and clothes. They didn't say anything to us. They're just staring at us and looking really bad.
Faced with this new generation pushing for change, the Islamic Republic has slightly softened its rules. A little fun is tolerated.
As long as you cover your hair and wear some long t-shirts or long dresses, it's okay. But when you take out your scarf or wear some boyish clothes that are short,
it's crossing the line. Actually.
Yeah, it's crossing the line and the police may arrest you. There are some ingredients for making bracelets, earrings, or necklace, and I put them together and make very beautiful things. I choose the teenager things that they would love and make them to sell them. Yeah.
Our style is getting more and more common in our country, and I think it's a good thing.
Yes.
Western music is playing in this trendy Harry Potter-themed cafe. Drinks here are alcohol-free, of course, like in the rest of Iran. The two Hastis like to meet here in the evening.
10 years ago, it wasn't really common to go to a cafe with your friends, both girls and boys. But now it's completely common, as you can see.
Social rules are loosening, but the Hastis don't feel completely free to talk politics in public.
We have freedom in speaking, but we don't have freedom after speaking.
But nowadays, teenagers have more freedom because of the social media. They can say their words, express their feelings, say their words, and by the social media. But in the public, no, they haven't got any freedom of speech or something like this. Yeah, because
sometimes, yeah, I agree with her, but sometimes the atmosphere is actually really heavy, and you have to be careful about what you say, what you do, your actions, because every little action may cause you a huge trouble. So you have to be careful.
Iran is about to hold elections. The campaign is drawing to a close. At the Conservative Party headquarters, volunteers hit the phones one last time. According to this candidate, the US walking out of the nuclear deal and slapping new sanctions on has played right into his hands.
حتما کمک کرد که این ایده نیروهای اصولگرا که اعتمادی به آمریکا و غرب وجود نداره تثبیت میشه در نزد مردم و از جانب مردم پذیرفته میشه. این به تبعش کمکی غیر مستقیم کرده به مجموعه.
The Conservative Party is expected to win comfortably. On the other side of the political spectrum, the reformists favor dialogue with the West and believe in offering a little more freedom to Iranians. Zarasai is running in Tehran. The campaign is tough. On top of the failed nuclear deal and corruption allegations, her party goes into battle with a serious handicap. 7,000 reformist candidates have been barred from running by Iran's Constitution Guardians Council.
ناراحتی در این بخش بود که بخشی از کسایی که حالا سرشناس‌تر بودن و مردم اونها رو میشناختن تاییدیه نگرفتن.
Some party members are calling for a boycott of the election, but Zarasai has decided to run nevertheless. US sanctions have resulted in poverty, unemployment and inflation. Iran's economy is devastated. Many Iranians have stopped believing in politics.
بعد آخه هیچی درست نمیشه، همه چی داره روز به روز بدتر میشه، زندگی خیلی سخت شده واقعا تو ایران. همه دنبال مهاجرتن.
جوونا همه بیکارن. مردم دارن از گشنگی میمیرن. رای چطور بدن؟ چطور بدن آخه؟ مردم راضی نیستن از این گرونی. چقدر اختلاس؟ بس دیگه بابا پدر مردم در آوردیم.
It's election day. In Iran, most polling stations are set up in mosques. Men and women vote separately, and here, people can watch voters fill out their ballot papers. There's no polling booth. In this conservative neighborhood, voters have turned out en masse. What do you have to say to those who consider the election unfair because of the disqualified candidates?
If it's not fair, why people are here?
For conservatives, voting is a religious duty. As predicted, they won a landslide victory. But despite calls to vote by the supreme leader, a majority of young and reformist voters stayed at home. Turnout was historically low. At the time of filming, the COVID-19 pandemic was already hitting Iran hard. Shortly after she lost the election, reformist candidate Zarasai developed the disease. She has since fully recovered. Diplomat Hossein Sheikh al-Islam was not so lucky. He was one of the first regime dignitaries to die of COVID-19 on March 5th. He was 68 years old. For 3 months, universities were closed. The two Hastis went into lockdown with their respective families. Today, they want to believe something good will come out of this crisis for their country.
No one knows about the world after Corona. You know, it's not like before. So I think some things are going to change. But I hope that it's going to change in a better way.
Our reporters Romeo Longwa, Maisa Awad and James Andre with that from Iran. You can see it again, of course, on our website, france24.com. This is Reporters. Thank you for watching. Stay with us. Most of all, stay safe.